All right, so you're coming to our website, you're probably wondering if we make a quality product. And whether you choose us or somebody else, you're gonna wanna make sure that the fabricator you select has some quality management system in place, such as one that meets the standards of ISO9001 or AS9100. Here at APE, we have both those certifications. So what does that mean? That means basically we have processes in place from the very beginning, when we first initially quote that job, all the way through shipping that to you that assure that you're getting a quality product. If you don't believe me, come check it out. All right, welcome to the shop here at APE. We're gonna do a little tour. Let's go. So a lot of people think of quality control as inspection. Quality takes the entire ecosystem from ordering material from a vendor, incoming material inspection, all these intermediate processes that we're doing to verify we have a good part. We want to make sure we put together a plan to set ourselves up for success, to assure we're making a quality part the first time through. Every piece of material that comes through the door, we're going to make sure that it has material test reports, and then we're going to immediately tag that material before it even goes anywhere within our shop. So that's what Joe's doing right now. He's making sure that what we ordered is what we got, and he's putting a digital tag on each sheet so that we can maintain traceability through the entire build process. So a lot of our projects, we're going to be doing a small production run of something, but we got to make sure we're making every part good. So we got to get one piece through every one of the steps. And so what we got here is a really big piece of thick stainless steel. We've already rough cut it. We've done the machining operations. Delano's about to bend it, and then he's going to document to make sure that we actually have a good part so it can continue on in the rest of the process. Some of the tolerances are very tight. So we come over here to our surface plate. We have calibrated inspection tools so that way we get a really high degree of measurement. So we're always trying to make inspection as simple as it possibly can be. So over here we've developed a go, no-go gauge so that even though we have a production project and this really complicated fixture to hold all the parts, we've come up with a gauging system where he can really very easily and quickly verify that the parts are fitting together the right way. So before we connect two pieces of metal, we know they're fit up right. A lot of times we have to make a weldment with very tight tolerances and complex geometry. That's sort of what we specialize in, and we got to have a system that we've planned out to set ourselves up for success to do that. So here our engineering team has developed a fixture so that we can put all these parts together so that Travis can weld them. So we want to have in our shop a visual system so that anybody can walk up to something and know the status. So immediately right here you can see that we have a hold cone on it, but anybody can walk up to this. We got part numbers, the quantity needed, and what's missing. So as soon as that material comes in, that cone will switch from a hold to a proceed, and that allows it to continue moving through the shop in a very seamless fashion. So when we do production jobs, our engineering team is always going to try to simplify that down so that it's the easiest it could possibly be to make a high quality product delivered on time. So we've developed a system where we've got easy to read labels that are even color coded so that we avoid ever making two parts go together that aren't supposed to. Okay, so over here in the machine shop, we have a very similar process flow to the rest of the business where we spend time to engineer the right setup and right fixturing when need be. So here we have a fixture plate where we're making some parts. They're going to document the measurements they got as they're doing it to assure that that first piece off is an actual good part. So after parts make their way through the machine shop and they've been inspected, they get put in these blue bins. And so in that bin, we'll have the finished parts, and then we'll also have the shop drawing, which it shows how many parts they made, how many they needed to make, who programmed it, who set it up, who machined it, and they've recorded all the dimensions that we need to verify with the customer. So one of the things that AS9100 requires us to do is maintain material traceability through the entire process. Right here we've got material that's set up for a job where we keep track of it by job number. That way when we use it, they'll scan it in so it will trace this piece of material to the actual part. What Delano's doing now is we're going to cut these pieces out. You would have selected the material for the appropriate job. We've maintained traceability to that point. He's recording that in the system now. And then this nest, which is either done by the operator or the engineer, is the program that we've designated to cut these parts out. So he's going to do the first cuts on them right now. So when we design something, one of the things we have to do is design validation. So we've design verified, we'd make sure on paper it meets all the specifications that it needs to. Now we need to validate the design to prove that it actually functions as we intend it to work. So what we're doing here is dry assembling all these parts, testing all of them for functionality, make sure it operates as it's intended, and then assuming that it does, we'll document all that we did, tear it down, and then these will go to paint and plating before they go to final assembly. So a lot of our projects at the end, we have to do assembly on them, and so we have a dedicated assembly and testing area, and so what we're doing right now is final assembly on this lifting frame. The technicians are going through the bill of materials on the drawing, making sure every piece is exactly what it's supposed to be. We have our torque schedule for our hardware, and they're going to sign off on each piece that gets on there so that we know that it got assembled correctly. One of the last things we'll do on assembly is attach this to the device so that forever anybody that walks up to it knows who made it and that it was actually tested in accordance with the standard. All right, so after we've completed everything, we've done all our inspections, parts are about ready to be shipped out, we have to put together a certificate of compliance on that. So in this case, these ones are all getting bagged and tagged. The documentation will get shipped with them. That way when the customer receives them, they have everything they know to prove that we've made a part that meets their specifications. So now you've seen what it takes to have a shop that's certified to ISO 9001 and AS9100. You can see all the process that we have in place to assure you get a quality product. But if you still doubt it and you want to see a tour to see it for yourself, send us an email and set up a time to come by.